So, all right, hey, Shalom Akyam. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai,
Waha, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We are the Hebrew Israelites, which consists of the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indian, and Haitians. According to the Holy Scriptures, we're God's chosen people. We got some special guests in the house tonight. You got the brother from Mexico in here. We got the brother from Hawaii in here. And today's topic is going to be on the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad, because they are Hebrew Israelites as well. All right, so without further ado, man, we're going to start off with this video. I'm going to this James Adair book. This is going to be a two-part series because we got his brother Yawanathan. He got some information too. So we're going to go into this video real quick and show the map, how it used to be before Esau came over here and massacred the Native Americans of the tribe of Gad. And we're going to, bring out information in the book of James Adair to prove that they are the Hebrew Israelites. And of course, we're going to use the scriptures, the Bible. So everything is ciphered through the scriptures, the Holy Scriptures, all right? So if you brothers are edified out there, it's going to be a good show. Just sit back and enjoy yourself. Now, go ahead, brother.
America can stand back right now and watch as my own people attack some of our traditional people for believing in our own Lakota way of life.
The media often portrays us as like these sad, like poverty-stricken people.
There isn't that focus on who we are today.
We live on the poorest county in America. It's poverty-stricken, but just because we live in poverty don't mean we're poor.
Would you feel American?
Hey, what's the scripture in Revelations 2? I know that
poverty, tribulation.
But yeah, get that real quick.
Revelations 2 and 9.
That proves that they're Israelites, man. Because we got a special spirit on us, man. We're the sons of the Most High, the sons of the daughters of the Most High, man.
Yep.
Go ahead, whoever got it.
Yep. Revelation 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
And poverty. What did it just say? Poverty. All right, go ahead.
But thou art rich.
But thou art rich. Because we are the Israelites, man. We're going to receive the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah, so that goes into them Khazars, and the history behind that is when the Apostle John was dealing with those Israelites out there that were going off on purpose, So go ahead and play that again, the video.
Nah, I've always been taught we were Indian, we were Lakota first before we were anything else, before we were Christian, before we were American.
See, so it goes farther than you being of the Lakota tribe. You go back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel, the tribe of Gad.
Right.
Pretty much that's where it's at, man. Because before you were here, United States, you were in the Middle East. You understand? So go ahead, brother.
Okay, so I've just woke up in the Rosebud Reservation here in South Dakota. I'm on a beautiful ranch with lots of chickens and horses. I'm going to be spending a few days here sleeping in people's houses and in the Pine Ridge Reservation about 2 hours from here. I want to find out what it's like to live here, but also how younger people can envisage their future and how they feel about modern day America as a Native American.
What it says, there are 9 in South Dakota dealing with the reservations, home to more than 70,000 Native Americans. The reservations are some of the poorest areas in the U.S. You hear that, man? Go ahead, brother.
Why is just to back the elder up? It says the federal government is responsible for managing. Sorry, how well would this work? Just ask Native Americans. It says the federal government is responsible for managing Indian affairs for the benefit of all Indians. But by all accounts, the government has failed to live up to this responsibility. As a result, Native American reservations are among the poorest communities in the United States. Indian lands are owned and managed by the federal government.
By Esau. by Esau. So they fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Same thing in the projects and all that with Judah, Benjamin, Levi is that the third world countries. So they fit the prophecies of the scriptures, man. So they prove they're Hebrew Israelites, man. Go ahead.
Around here, it's kind of hard because all the drugs and alcohol.
So it's a very hard place to grow up in a lot of ways.
The majority of people that are working on the res, you either work at the tribal office or IHS.
Not much to do around here. And when you do find something to do, you usually have to travel 20 miles or so longer.
There's a lot of suicides and that kind of stuff.
People lose hope and they feel maybe oppressed.
We've all fallen as teenagers around here, and we've all experimented with alcohol and things.
It's really sad to have alcohol.
Salaki, it's crazy because alcohol, but for people, regular people in America, so-called regular people in America, alcohol is not that big of an issue. You have alcoholism, but alcohol on the res is like crack in the ghetto, man.
Yeah. They so oppressed out there, man. This is their land. They got pushed up to the goddamn mountains, pretty much, man. Yeah. In the deserts, man. Yeah. You see,
man, alcoholism is not the drinking alcohol we be drinking and shit. They anything with alcohol in it, they drink. Shampoo, all types of shit.
Even hand
sanitizer.
Yeah, hand sanitizer.
Messed up, man. Messed up. So those are the curses the Lord put on us, man. As a nation of being Hebrew Israelites, okay? Go ahead, brother. Pause there. The Indian youth have the highest rate of suicide among all ethnic groups in the United States. We should say the rest of the Israelites, man. Yeah. Because we're the real one with the real ethnicity. We're the special people, you know?
That's right.
Yeah, ethnos. Yep. Beautiful, brother. Go ahead.
One thing about these kids here is they're survivors and they're fighters. And a lot of them are wanting change. They want something different. They want something better than our adults are leaving them.
We actually don't believe in the word Native American because Native American, it also has the word American in it.
They took everything from us. America's built on stolen lands.
What was that? That's facts. Right? Because that's a byword that the damn cracker put on you, man. You the Hebrew Israelites, man. We're God's people, okay? Go ahead.
America is a stolen country.
We used to live with everything, and now we're on these little reservations and we're all clumped together, and we shouldn't be like that.
Like non-natives, Sia says these historic people with the loincloth and headdress.
Because you see the Washington Redskins, you see the Cleveland Indians, you see all of that, and it's a big joke, and you hear everybody knows the phrase drunken Indian.
We get out of there. I don't want to play the whole thing. All right, so bring up that map of how it used to be before the white man came over here. See? So they fall under the curses as well, man. So that's why the Lord got the real men out there, the prophets, to bring the truth back to the forefront, man. So we're gonna show you brothers a map. Just Google it. Okay. No, I don't got it in the files. Okay. Yeah, just Google it. What'd you type in? Put Native Americans for Europeans. Yep.
You want the map of the U.S., right?
Yeah, the map, and they got their tribes and all that stuff. Yeah. Bam. That's the one you got, Lamar.
Not gonna allow me to blow it up. Hold on.
I gotta click on it. Save it as a JPEG and then oh, there you go. Bam! So they can see that?
No, not yet.
I got a quick one. If you want.
Hold on, real quick, brother. So, boom, brothers, as you can see this map. That's how it was before the so-called white man came over here. You can see where all the Native American tribes dwelled at, from north to the south of America to the east of the west. Down there by Florida, you see you got the Seminole tribes. That's Reuben, and all the way up you got Cherokee, Choctaw, yeah, the Apache. I believe this is Arizona right here.
That's Texas.
Texas, yeah, Texas and Arizona. The Apache tribe.
Apache, Arizona.
Yeah, Navajo.
Bayou.
See that? That's how it was before this damn devil came over here and massacred these people, man. You understand what I'm saying? This is true history. So you got a quick one you can pull off it, and we're gonna get into the thing now, man. Into the scriptures.
Deuteronomy 28 and 45.
Yeah, we got that.
Oh,
we got all that. Yeah, so let's get to it now. Dealing with the prophecies, man. Go to the scriptures. Start off with Genesis 49, verse 1. Whoever got it.
This is Genesis 49 and 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
And that's what happened to us in the last days. All right, when the so-called white man came over here and massacred us. Not only the Negro tribes dealing with the Native American tribes and the Seminole tribes and the Latino tribes as well. And they took everything from us, man. Go to verse 19.
Yep, verse 19. Gad, a troop shall overcome him.
So this is the tribe that you Native Americans is from. The tribe of Gad. It means troop. One more time.
Gad, a troop shall overcome him.
So that's dealing with Andrew Jackson. All them different wars you guys had with the so-called white man. All right, with his cavalry and with his army. You guys had a lot of battles, a lot of wars. You got books on that, right, bro?
Cotton.
Yeah, the brother. You know, we do a part 2 and go more in depth with those that history. Yeah. He's gonna break it down through the biblical prophecies and all that, so you get an idea, man, get an understanding. One more time, brother.
Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
But we are going to overcome at the last, man. So that's the time we're in right now. The Lord is raising back up the elect of our nation, so we could take back what's rightfully ours, because this whole world was made for our sakes. Like the girl in the video, she said we used to live with the earth and all that. Yes, freely. Now we got to serve our punishment because we have sinned against our power, man. Yeah. Now give me your Deuteronomy 32. Go ahead, verse 20 and 21.
Deuteronomy 32, 20 and 21. And of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad.
Yeah, so Gad, that was a big tribe, man. Very big tribe. As you can see, they took up the whole United States. Even in Canada as well. Yeah. You see? Go ahead.
And of Gad he said, blessed be he that enlargeth Gad. He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm.
Yeah. So how do a lion dwell freely? On their terrain, on their turf, whatever. Yeah. All right. And they were very fierce warriors, man. Honorable men and women. Go ahead.
He dwelleth as a lion and teareth the arm with the crown of the head. And he provided the first part for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he, and seated. And he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of the Lord and his judgment with Israel.
Right. So dealing with, now somebody give me 2nd Ezra 13. Dealing when we came over here. So that read that part again. The lawgiver and all that. I know where I'm. I want, right? When the tribes came over here. Yeah, I should know that by now.
And he provided the first part of him for himself, because there in a portion of the lawgiver was he.
Right. So when they came over here, what, 726 BC? Yeah. The tribe of Gad was set up as the lawgiver, as the priest amongst the other tribes, man. Yeah. Then the rest of the tribes start forming their own priesthood and all that stuff. All right, go ahead.
And seated, and he came with the heads of the people.
With the heads of the people of the other northern kingdom, who were the Latinos, the Seminole Indians, man, came over here through us 726 BC, around that time frame.
That's why in that book, A Lost Lands and Promised Land.
Yeah, like Lost Tribes and the Promised Land.
Promised Land. They said that the one lady, when she was speaking to the gods. She would say that
the tribe of Reuben.
Yeah, the tribe of Reuben got over here, and I think he was in South America.
No, that was in New York.
Okay,
that was in New York. Yeah.
So yeah, she basically said that because all the heads, all the tribes were over here, man.
Right.
So yeah, so it says seated, and he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Right, because it was set up as the priesthood, man. You understand what I'm saying? That was it.
And his judgments with Israel.
Right, with Israel, with the rest of the Israelites, man, the Northern Kingdom, the Latinos and the Seminole Indians, man. All right. So give me that second Esdras.
It's second Esdras 13 and 40. These are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king.
Right. Go ahead.
Whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land.
Right. So that's dealing with the Middle East right there. So we got taken down by the Assyrians. All right, the Northern Kingdom got taken down by the Assyrians, and the Southern Kingdom got taken down by the Babylonians. And they took us out of the land. They took them to the land of Assyria, man. Different parts in the Middle East. Go ahead. That's another land. Go ahead.
Yep. But they took this counsel amongst themselves that they should leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where where never mankind dwelt.
Right. So bring that map up again, like you did before. So you give you brothers an illustration of what happened. No. How they left the Middle East. Remember that map? Yeah. Okay. Salaki.
Oh, okay, that map.
Yeah.
All right.
Salaki, bros.
I'm bringing it back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it again real quick, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. But they took their counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
A second, bro. Yeah, it's all right.
It's very heavy right now.
Yeah. Let's go back up.
I can kind of show it from there. It's not clear though, bro.
Bear with us 1 second, brothers out there. Trying to show you brothers this map, man. Can we use that? I don't think we'll be able to use that. You still got the old files that I sent you last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I sent you that map.
Okay.
The antiquities. Yeah, there it is. Bam. Bam. Use that. All right. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. Read that again one more time, Mike Alaba show.
Verse second Esdras 13 to 41. But they took this counsel amongst themselves.
No, from the top.
For verse 40.
Yeah.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
So demonstrate where we were, brother.
So we were in Assyria right here.
No. Before that, we were carried out our land.
We were in Israel.
Uh-huh.
Right here.
Yeah.
Samaria.
Right. So we got taken out the land by the Assyrians, and you could follow the arrow.
Right.
And it took him all the way over here, over the waters, because there's rivers and stuff over here.
Right.
So go ahead, Mike, read that.
These are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters.
Right, over the waters, through these rivers and all that, to the green parts. You see the green parts right there in green? That's where the Northern Kingdom were at, in the Assyrian captivity.
Yeah, all these little lines you both see are different rivers.
Rivers, yep.
Can't really see the name, but
black lines.
They're blue lines.
Blue lines.
And then the Euphrates River is right here.
Right.
Yep.
Go ahead, Art.
And so came they into another land But they took this counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
So they left the Middle East, the land of Assyria. Go ahead.
Yep. Leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
And that's dealing with over here in North America and the Caribbean islands. North America, South America, and the Caribbean islands. So they left the Middle East and they came over here, man.
You follow the Euphrates River over here, where the little hand is at. They went all the way down.
Yep.
Down until they came out. This is where the Euphrates River ends right here.
Right.
So they came out through the Persian Gulf.
Right. Come. Boom. So that's dealing with how the tribe of Gad got over here, man. Continue, Mike.
Yep. It says, verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land.
Right. So that's how, how the tribe of Gad took on that leadership role of being the priest and all that stuff. Go ahead.
Yep. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Right.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half.
So they took a year and a half to get over here. A year and a half. So the Native American tribe, the Seminole tribe, the Latino tribes came over here roughly around 726 BC. All right.
And the same region is called Asareth. And they dwelt there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come.
And they that shall begin to come, be dealing with Judah, Benjamin, Levi, or the Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians. Yeah. You gonna give a better illustration, brother?
No, I was just pulling up that.
Go ahead, brother.
And that shows you that the Most High wanted Gad to come over here because he had still the floods and showed them signs. I mean, the Most High was guiding the tribe of the Northern Kingdom period to come over here,
right,
for the purpose of prophecy.
Right.
Just like we were seeing in that map,
right.
The Euphrates River came out through the Persian Gulf. So they came all the way up this way where the little mouse is going.
Right.
And pretty much followed like the coast, under the Horn of Africa. Pretty much where the little mouse is going.
Right.
And then all the way till they got to
the land of Arsarit,
right,
which is North America, South America, and the West Indian Islands, man. That's how you end up over here, man.
Year and a half.
A year and a half. It took you the Native Americans, the Seminole Indians, and Latinos, who the tribes of Israel, to get over here, man. This is true history. You got something real quick?
God, and how they knew this because King Solomon was doing it.
Right. We ain't gotta get it. Okay. We'll knock this out, man. So somebody give me Deuteronomy 28, and then we're gonna, because I want to get to this book, man. Everybody can sit there, but once you bring out these books, it's right there in your face, man.
Yeah.
28 start at verse 15 and go to 23.
I got brothers over here sleeping.
Yeah, man, y'all brothers wake up, man.
Yeah, I'll read for the
Oh shit. Hey, go ahead, bro. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15. It says, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee."
And that's why you end up in the reservations, because we got cursed, man, as a nation. You got your land taken, you got raped, you got massacred, damn near genocide. Everything got taken from you, man. This book is dealing with your nationality, man, your heritage. Go ahead.
It says, "Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field."
And that's what's going on in the reservations. You're cursed, man, in the city and in the fields, because you out there in the desert, in the mountainous areas, and all that, and you're cursed.
Yeah. You can't plant nothing over there. It's dead. It's just a desert area. That's why it looks. When you even look at the video, it just looks depressing, man.
Yeah.
It's even like a city, cities out here called like Palmdale and Lancaster. When you out there in the day, everything is just desert and just dead. It's just depressing.
It's called high desert, bro.
The high desert.
It's the same way in the ghetto in the hood. We
Yeah.
were talking about that earlier today at camp. How like you go in the ghetto, the project, that shit is desolate, man. Don't nobody go out there. It's trash everywhere. Nothing grown.
No street sweepers.
Yeah, it's always dim. Looking at shit. The
Everything's
spirit is
great.
Yeah, the spirit is gray as fuck.
Go ahead.
It says, cursed shall be thy basket in thy store.
Right. Cursed shall be thy basket in thy store, man. It's dealing with your goods, your groceries and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? You used to grow crops on the land and all that stuff. You can't do that no more. Esau gave you supermarkets and goddamn GMOs and fast food. Killed all your buffaloes and all that stuff. You know?
Esau, I mean, they got to teach Esau how to survive. Now you got to go to Esau for everything, right?
And it's spiritual too, because in the article I was reading while I was getting ready, it said 5 reasons. Hey, the reason why they poor is because they got to go to Esau for everything. Esau keeps them poor through his bureaucratic system.
And when they were doing the little interviews with the natives, it said right under their occupation, and it was saying like looking for work.
That Jake is looking for work on it.
Crazy, man.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Yep. It says, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body.
And what is your children? Fruit of your body is your children. They messed up in the head.
Suicide.
Yeah.
Suicide is high on that reservation.
Remember I met a Gadite chick in the Marine Corps. She was fine, man. She fucked around with a white man, but she knew she messed up. So when I came to the unit, she's talk to me about a lot of shit, man. She's asking me like, what do you think I should do? Blah 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 blah. Because she got orders to somewhere close to her res. I said, hey man, you should do that shit, man. Do that and go help your people, you know. The bitch was fine as fuck, man. I was like, God damn, I wish I would have got that, man. Fucked around with the goddamn gringos. She's all messed up in the head, man. You know, but she used a lot of them joined the military to help their people out, man. I witnessed that, bro.
The first Native American woman to die in military combat was Jessica Lynch's friend in 2003. She was like the only Native American woman to die in the military. And she went there. She went to support her family. They were all on the reservation.
You see?
Yeah.
It's messed up. Go ahead, bro.
It says, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land.
The fruit of thy land. Yeah, man. Your land is desolate. No crops, no cattle, nothing like that, man. Go ahead.
And the fruit, in the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out.
When you're born and when you die, cursed, messed up, not knowing who you are, man. Lost everything. They gave you goddamn reservations and casinos and alcohol.
And white man powwows.
Powwows is mostly Edomites running that. And bad dental plan. Because I remember I went to New Mexico, drop off below, the Gadite chick tried to holler at me, and the whole front mouth was gone. I was like, God damn. Messed up, man. No, I'm cool. She looking for a trucker, man. I know I'm cool, man.
She would have traveled the United States.
Yeah. No, that was New Mexico. New Mexico is part of the United States. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 20. It says, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do.
Yeah, cursing, vexation, and rebuke. They out there messed up in the head, man.
You got a lot of Jakes too that Gadites that look like Judah, you know?
Yeah.
They think they grow up in the ghettos thinking that they black.
Right.
Thinking they Judah.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It says, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me.
And that's why we as a nation are in this predicament, because we turn back against our power. That's why the Lord got the men out here as true prophets, breaking it down the right way unto you with other historical facts. Right? Go ahead, brother.
It says, the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee.
What's that pestilence? Let's bring up the smallpox pictures, man. So that was a very heavy ordeal that happened to the Gadite tribes when Esau gave you that smallpox, man. That's what that pestilence is talking about for Native Americans. Should type of Native Americans. Well, yeah, that's a good one.
It's like only cases of this.
Yeah, that's a good one right there with the little girl. Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. Bring that up. Yeah, the little girl.
Yeah, that's sad, man.
Little girl picture.
It's sad. You get sad about seeing it, and then you realize that the Lord said it was going to happen. So it's a judgment, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So read that part again, brother. Can they see that?
Yeah.
God.
It says.
Oh.
It says the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee.
And that's what happened to you when goddamn gringo came over, the white man, and gave you those blankets that had smallpox in it, man. That's a pestilence.
Like a reptile.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Until he have consumed thee from off the land.
A lot of you died from that, man. Go ahead.
Whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever.
With a fever. Look at this. Look at the symptoms.
Yeah, can I read the symptoms?
Yeah.
So it says the initial symptoms of the disease include fever and vomiting. This is then followed by the formation of sores in the mouth. So it was inside their mouth. It says and a skin rash. Over a number of days, the skin rash turns into a characteristic fluid-filled bumps with probably pus, you know. It says with a dent in the center. The bumps then scab over and fall off, leaving scars. The disease used to spread between the people or via contaminated objects.
Yeah, that's it on that, bro. That's it on that. Continue, bro. Verse, stop at 23.
It says, the Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever and with an inflammation and with an extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish.
Yeah, that's what happened. That was verse 23.
Verse 23 is next.
Go ahead.
It tells you they went blind too.
Yeah, that's what happened when the goddamn cavalry came over here and did all that to you, man. He's the so-called white man and his armies. They call themselves Indian killers, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
Yeah, you catching pure hell, man. Pure hell. You can take that off now, brother. So give me your verse. Stay there, brother. Give me your verse 31 and 32. Then we're gonna get up out of here and bring this book out, man.
Verse 31, Deuteronomy 28. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
What, the boarding schools? Bring up the boarding schools, man.
Yeah, Richard Henry Pratt. All right, the first school was in Philadelphia, I believe. 1700, I think 1700, 1800.
Right, that's it right there. Of the boarding schools, any images of that? Boom. So read that last part again.
It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Oh, go back, bro. I saw a dope ass picture. Oh shit! Boom! Hit this one right here. Before and after.
Yeah, man. Scandalous.
Bring up these pictures, man.
I don't know why it's not doing it today, bro.
So can they see that picture?
Yeah, we can see it.
So that's before and after picture. So before you saw him in his native gown, you know what I'm saying, with the fringes in his hair and all that. And after, when they went to the boarding school, what? They became a goddamn coon.
And they had no choice too. Like
yeah.
It was no. Esau would just come and take your kids, man. It was no damn choice.
Right.
Take them thousands of miles away. You know, to where when they came back, they didn't know who y'all didn't know each other, man.
No. You know,
he completely did away with your way of life, man.
Yeah. A good movie to watch too on that is The Only Good Indian. And it shows you that, and he was trying to get back to his pops. But the Gadites that was taken to the boarding schools, they became servants to Esau. They didn't even care for their heritage no more. Yeah, they cared about what Esau had taught them.
Yeah, it said kill the Indian, save the man.
Yeah. Right.
And, on November 1st, 1879, Pratt founded Carlisle Indian Industrial School at Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the first of many non-reservation boarding schools for Native Americans. Pratt did not regard his innovation at Fort Marion as limited to Native Americans only. So it's a government program.
Right. So they can indoctrinate you with their lies and Christianity, okay?
They show you that in that movie, Bury My Heart, and Wounded Knee.
Right.
When they took the pops, they made him a cooned out Christian.
Yeah.
And then they took the son that he was trying to hold on to his ways, but eventually they broke him too. But then when he became an adult, he became suicidal. He was like, I should have just jumped off the fucking train when I was going to the boarding school because it fucked his mind up.
His
Man.
dad told him, he was like, the white man is the new ruler of this land.
Right.
You have to follow him.
Yeah. Because they have the word, man. So the word is out now. So that's it on that. So bring up the James Adair, brothers. Let's jump to it. I don't want to spend too much time in the prophecy. So we gave you, brothers, some prophecy. The sisters out there know you about to give you some history.
Yeah.
All right. So bring up the book of James Adair, the cover of it. I don't got it in your profile. You got to Google it.
Okay.
History of the Native Americans. Yeah. We could went into more prophecies, but we'll be here all day. Can you see that?
This one?
Yeah.
The first thing they do in them schools, if you had that long hair was like a tradition, made them chop their long hair. Your name got changed from
so Black Knight to Tommy.
Bobby. You can't speak that language neither, man. You will get persecuted, man.
Right. So let's get to it, brothers. So this book is James Adair, History of the Native Americans. The first edition is $6,000. All right. So that proves what they got all types of information they took out, but this is still a good book to get for you brothers out there, and it goes to show you read this book that the history, the heritage goes back to the Hebrew Israelites. All right. So let's get to it, brother. Got to show them the book, man. So the first one I want to get is going to say it's difficult. I don't know which one I sent you first.
Yeah, nothing's in order.
Nothing's in order. Let's find it. That's the second one. It's this one looking for is very difficult thing to divest ourselves. So all right. So James Adair, is it right there? James Adair was an Edomite that lived around the Native Americans, the tribe of Gad, for 40 years. He did a lot of what you call man? Exchanging goods, and he lived around them and all that. Yeah, trading and all that stuff. When you do the history on it, yeah. So he started living around them. He picked up like, man, these people go back to the Hebrew Israelites in the Bible, and he quote a lot of things in his book, man. All right, so go ahead, brother. Start off.
So it says, it is a very difficult thing to divest ourselves, not to say other persons, of prejudices and favorite opinions, and I expect to be censored by some.
And that's what happened during the time from the first edition on to now. Some of the information got taken out, but the average Native American Gadite don't know about this book, so we putting it out there now, man. Get your mind right. Go ahead.
For opposing commonly received sentiments, or for meddling with a dispute agitated among the learned ever since the first discovery of America. But truth is my object, and I hope to offer some things which, if they do not fully solve the problem, may lead the way and enable others possessing stronger judgment, more learning, and more leisure to accomplish it. As I before suggested, where we have not the light of history or records to guide us through the dark maze of antiquity, we must endeavor to find it out by probable arguments, and in such subject must endeavor to find it
of
inquiry where no material objections can be raised against probability. It is strongly conclusive of the truth and nearly gives the thing sought for. From the most exact observations I could make in the long time I traded amongst the Indian Americans,
tribe of Gad,
I was forced to believe them lineally descended from the Israelites.
Right there, man. Right there. Can they see that, brothers?
Yeah, they can see it.
You guys see that, right? Descended, it said lineage, descended from the Israelites. All right? You are the tribe of Gad from the Israelites, man. The Hebrew Israelites. Okay, continue.
He said he was forced to believe. He said, I was forced to believe them lineally descended from the Israelites.
Yep.
Either while they were a maritime power or
soon
after the general captivity.
Yeah, maritime power meaning they were controlling everything. And after their captivity, they still held on to certain laws and customs and all that stuff. That's why a lot of wars broke out, man, between those tribes, man. And the Apache tribe was going hard on Esau, man. Then you had that brother Geronimo, who's from the tribe of Issachar. His brother brought that out. They hated Geronimo, man. Yeah, and Sitting Bull, yeah. So that's why a lot of wars broke out, man.
They took his skull too.
Yeah, they took his skull.
What's it called?
The skull and bones. Yeah. Go ahead, brother.
It says, the latter, however, is the most probable. This descent I shall endeavor to prove from their religious rites, civil and marital customs, their marriages, funeral ceremonies, manners, language, traditions, and a variety of particulars, which will at the same time make the reader thoroughly acquainted with nations of which it may be said to this day very little have known. Observations. So it says, observations and arguments in proof of the American Indians being descended from the Jews.
And the real Jews are us, man. That's right. The Negroes, Palestinian Haitians, Latinos, so on and so forth. So the next one we're going to get is this one with that mark on it. Argument 2. So he's giving you a brief breakdown of what the book is about. No, you supposed to, yeah, there. No, go back, because you had that one up first in argument 2 before you you found that okay, the one I won. There it is. Bam. So this argument 2, man.
Okay.
On page 19, you get this book. So what it says by strict permanent, because I messed that up.
So it says, by strict permanent divine precept, the Hebrew nation were ordered to worship at Jerusalem. Yahweh is Jehovah, but it's Yahweh, the true and living God, and who by the Indians is still Yehovah.
So that means Yahweh. All right, see that? They say Yehovah, but the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh. All right, go ahead.
Which the 72 interpreters, either from ignorance or superstition, have translated Adonai. It says, and it is the very same as the Greeks, or the Greek kurios, signifying sir or lord or master, which is commonly applied to earthly potentates without the least signification of or relation to that most great and awful name, which describes the divine essence, who naturally
go ahead.
Right. Who naturally and necessarily exists of himself, which Yahweh. That's what it means.
So they believe in him, the Most High, bro.
Yeah. In that movie with Sam Elliott, the guy walked up on him. He just like a Reubenite. He said, Yahweh is with you.
Yeah.
That old movie, right?
Yeah, there's an old movie. Yeah. Yahweh is with you, man. Clear as day.
Yep. Right. Say Yahweh.
Yeah.
Yep. It says necessarily exists of himself without beginning or end.
That's the Ancient of Days. Yep. Right. So this is the one that you about to pull up, the Theocracy. You know, you got to go forward now. Yeah, there it is. So this is argument 3.
Right.
So this guy made this book to put out like these people are part of the tribes.
Yep.
And I got proof. Go ahead.
It says, argument 3, agreeable to the theocracy or divine government of Israel, the Indians think the deity to be the immediate head of their state.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like back in Israel, Yahweh was the king.
Yeah.
You know, it says all the nations of Indians are exceedingly intoxicated with religious pride.
Their heritage, man. Go ahead.
And have an inexpressible contempt of the white people.
Of who?
Of the white people.
Of who?
The white people.
Esau, man. The red man. See that, man?
I go back to Genesis, man. The Lord said He's gonna put an enmity.
Yeah.
I see, you know.
Yep. And there's
we know, brother. Let's go. Go ahead.
It says, unless we accept those half savage Europeans who are become their proselytes, nothing's is the most favorable name they give us. In their set speeches, even the Indians who were formerly bred in amity with us and in enmity to the French used to call us in by war orations Hatuk Uprus, the accursed people. It says, but they flatter themselves with the name Hotuk Uretupa, the beloved people.
So they're trying to switch it up to say that they're the beloved people, but the Indians will call them the accursed people, children of my curse.
Hey, Satan said make himself an angel of light.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Because their supposed ancestors, as they affirmed, were under the immediate government of the deity who was present with them in a very, very particular manner and directed them by prophets, while the rest of the world were aliens and outlaws to the covenant.
Ooh, heathens. You wasn't an Israelite. You were alien. You were a heathen, man.
Yeah.
So the next one is this argument. I don't know Roman numerals is that.
You have funding.
Yeah,
that's 4.
Yeah, sucking Roman numerals.
You thinking 4, thinking IV.
There it is.
Right.
So hey, man, what they send in the comment board? You brothers, you bring out this information, man. So the tribe of Gad, man. You're the Native Americans. You have the tribe of Gad. You are a Hebrew Israelite, man. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Argument 4. We have abundant evidence of the Jews believing in the ministration of angels. During the Old Testament dispensation, their frequent appearances and their services on earth are recorded in the oracles which the Jews themselves received as given by divine inspiration and St. Paul in his epistle. The epistle addressed to the Hebrews speaks of it as their general opinion that angels are ministering spirits to the good and righteous on earth, and that it was the sentiment of those Jews who embraced Christianity is evident from Acts 12, where an angel is said to deliver Peter from his imprisonment. And when the maid reported that Peter stood at the gate knocking, his friends doubted, said, "It is his angel." Women also are ordered to have their heads covered in religious assemblies because of the presence of the angels, and to observe silence.
Let the woman learn in silence. We have to cuss that demon out today.
You brought that out on that woman?
Yeah.
Man, that spirit had to bring
see?
that on him too.
You see? But you have to deal with some damn Babylonian horrors too.
Yeah, we dealt with that Gadite chick that would look like Judah.
Oh, the Afro.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Demon.
She was going off.
No, she came in a different spirit over
I know one of y'all brothers called. Zan probably called her and shit.
You're talking about the hippie bitches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the hippie.
We stopped them too.
Oh, okay. So good. I want to deviate from the topic. That chick was fine. I was like, God damn.
You like that?
Yeah.
Her friend was from Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can I bring the pre to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
This 1 Corinthians 11:5. For every woman that prayeth for prophesieth with her head uncovered, the sign of her head. For that even all one as if she were shaven.
And that's why to this day you look at certain little villages in Central America or Mexico. The old women, not these new hoes. The older women, they still cover their heads and they wear dresses.
Yep.
Yeah, you see that.
Beautiful, man.
Continue. You got more?
Yeah, I got one more. It says, "For if a woman be not covered, let her be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered."
So it says, Women also are ordered to have their heads covered in religious assemblies because of the presence of the angels and to observe silence, the modest custom of the Eastern countries. The Indian sentiment and traditions are the same. They believe the higher they believe the higher regions to be inhabited by good spirits, whom they call Hotuk, Istohulo, and Nana Istoholo, holy people, and relations to the great holy one, the Hotuk or Prus or Nana. There's some more. Next page.
Yeah.
Sound like Hebrew, like broken Hebrew.
Yeah, it's broken Hebrew, man.
Yep.
Or cursed people.
Okay, that's right.
That's it.
All right, so it says
next page, go ahead.
Next page. Opus, the accursed people or accursed beings. They say possess the dark regions of the west. It says the former,
which is demons.
Yeah,
which is demons. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So angels, the principalities.
Yeah.
Angels and the demons. It says the former attend and favor the virtuous, and the latter in like manner accompany and have power over the vicious, on which account when any of their relations die, they immediately fire off several guns by 1, 2, and 3 at a time, for fear of being plagued with the last troublesome neighbors. All the adjacent towns also on the occasion whoop and halloo at night, for they reckon this offensive noise fends off the ghosts to their proper fixed place, till they return at some certain time to repossess their beloved tract of land and enjoy the terrestrial paradise. As they believe in God, so they firmly believe that there is a class of higher beings than men and a future state and existence.
Future state and existence, man. Over to the spiritual world and in the kingdom.
Right.
Yeah. Bam. So we're going to argument 5 now.
Right.
So as you can see, man, Spirit of the Lord has allowed us to bring this information out, man. So this argument 5 now on page 38 of the book. Go ahead.
So argument 5, it says the Indian language and dialects appear to have the very idiom and genius of the Hebrew.
Of the what?
Of the Hebrew.
Of the Ibar, the Lashawan Quadash.
Right.
But it was like a broken dialect of it, because we started to lose our heritage through the years. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
All right.
And then Jake uses a lot of slang that eventually sticks and becomes the actual way of talking.
That's what an idiom is, bro. A phrase of words put together.
Oh wow.
To make have some meaning behind it, but it'd be like they said, like Ebonics.
Right.
Oh wow.
In Spanish, like the Spanish in Central America, it's all Spanish, but the Central Americans, like this brother be saying shit that I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's like proverbs. It's like like sayings.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know what the hell is
parables.
like
Yeah.
parables.
Yeah, they got the same thing around the crazy ass Benjamin tribes, man.
Yep.
Jamaican got their own ways of saying parables.
Yeah.
People from Ghana got their own parables. People in Trinidad, oh wow.
Yeah.
I ain't know that, bro. That's crazy.
So it switches the meanings. You might be saying the same word, but it means something different in your country,
Right?
Than it means in mine.
Yeah, man. Like I was just watching this video of Issachar, how Issachar just take a word and flip it to 20 different things. Like for the word pedo, the chastum pedo, you farted.
Right.
You know, guess el pedo, what's the beef?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stoy pedo, I'm fucked up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Same word, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's how you know it's Jake,
And
man.
it becomes permanent definitions eventually.
Yeah, like just real quick, another one. Like if somebody was like, I put my foot in that dish. Like the motherfucker thing he put his foot in, that mean that he got down.
Right.
He got down when he made it.
A hard head make a soft ass.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Yeah, that's the parables around Jake. The proverb, man, that's Jake.
Yeah.
Proverbs,
Salty.
So this book of Psalms is all poetry with meaning, with deep meaning, man.
Yeah, that's a proverb.
Yeah.
Yeah, the scriptures got a lot of hip talk in it.
Yeah.
Especially the 1611. Like they said there be many mo. And they actually spell M-O. And the only people that even talk like that, like you know, like
no mo.
I ain't gonna say no mo. You know he's serious.
Respect my name.
The word,
Yeah, they use that a lot in the scriptures. Yeah, Like yeah, like not like yes,
Y-E-A.
yeah, nigga. Yeah. We started when the elder was talking. I mean, they got pissing on the wall. They got pissing on the wall in the scriptures. They're big known for that. You know, we outside, whatever, you know.
Wax
But it's
hot.
Y'all would say he'll throw down, man. Throw down.
He gonna waste you.
Yeah.
Waste that food.
Waste that food. He got wasted, man.
Hard-headed.
Yeah.
Saying that all my life, I didn't know it was from the scriptures.
Stiff-hearted.
Yeah, that's right. I'm reading it again. It says, the Indian language and dialects appear to have the very idiom and genius of the Hebrew. Their words and sentences are expressive, concise, and emphatical.
Emphatical. Let your yay be yay and your nay be nay. Straight to the point.
Not like the English.
Yeah. Straight to the point. Ain't no maybe. Well, I don't know. Well, we'll see. Yes or no, motherfucker.
There ain't no maybe in Hebrew. Cut the confusion fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So it says sonorous and bold, and often both in letters and signification, synonymous with the Hebrew language.
Cut. You know. So we go to the same argument, but the information with the Hebrew was freaking vast where I couldn't get all that. So we get
Yeah. You have to shoot that with the meat.
Yeah. All right. So it says they call the earth Yakain because Yah formed it as his footstool by the power of his word.
Somebody get that? Heaven is my throne, the earth is my footstool. Okay. Man, you see that, man?
Yep. This was 66 or Acts 66 7:48.
Man, brothers.
7:48. The book of Acts, chapter 7:48. Yeah. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Heaven is my footstool. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool.
Facts.
What house will you build me, saith the Lord? Or what is the place of my rest?
Right. So he controls everything, man.
Right.
One more time, brother.
They call the earth Yakain because Yah formed it as his footstool in the power of his word. And in allusion also here to Nakain signifies a man because of the mother earth, and Nake a bullet or arrow. When the Shiraki ask a person, is it not so? They say Wakain. The divine essential name and Cain are evidently the roots of these words.
Right. So you got one more. Go one more down. So these Indians.
Okay.
There it is.
These Indians to inculcate on their young people that Yahweh, right? Yahweh is the author of vegetation. Call the growth of vegetables Ra'ah.
That's Hebrew. Ra'ah. Yeah.
Straight up.
That's in Ra'ah is fear.
While Ra'ah, why and then Ra'ah is seed.
Oh yeah.
See?
So it says. So it says, moved by Yahweh, for signifies to walk or move, and the consonant, right? Consonant is an expletive of distinction. In like manner, Wa'ah signifies that the fruits are ripe or moved to their joy by Yahweh. They likewise call the flying of birds Waka'ah, as Yahweh gave them that swift motion.
That's it on that. Yeah. That's it on that. You see that? All ties up, man. All links up. Right. So get to another argument real quick. Yeah, man, there's a lot of information, man. You know, your brothers
I got a quick one.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
It's Wisdom of Solomon 9:1, just to back up that book. O power of our fathers,
yes,
the Lord of mercy, who made all things with thy word.
Ooh, that was through Yahweh Shai and his friends, his super friends. Well, we are, you know.
Okay. There's argument number 8. Their festivals, fasts, and religious rites have also a great resemblance of those of the Hebrews.
Yep, going back to the Levitical laws, you know, the book of Leviticus, the book of Deuteronomy, so on and so forth, right?
Feast days and all that.
Yeah.
Says it will be necessary here to take a short view of the principal Jewish feasts, and they kept every year a sacred feast called the Passover.
The what?
The Passover. In memory of the deliverance from Egyptian bondage.
Hey man, let's turn off the show.
That's
man.
what
Let's
I'm
go
saying.
home.
Yeah, I was thinking you done closed the book.
Everybody go drink some tequila, man. It's a wrap, man.
It's evident that we are the children of the Lord.
Yeah.
It's so evident, man, and it's no, I wouldn't say it's evident to those that have ears that hear, eyes to see, but even to Jacob did. But the fact that our people are so oppressed and our people are so
blinded.
Yeah, I'm about to say it.
Yeah.
The fact that people are so oppressed and so blinded.
Yeah.
With the lack of understanding.
Oh, the Most High put that on them, bro.
Yeah.
The Lord put
so
that.
That's why niggas really think they were Wakandans and Indians think they're Native Americans. And it's like when you look at the people in the res, they talk about the history of Gad, but they don't talk about this. They talk about the history of the Lakota people and all this other shit. Well, the Lord ain't dealing with Lakota people, man.
Yeah.
That's why Lakota people suffering.
Yeah.
He's dealing with the Gadites.
Yep.
The
elect.
The elect, man.
The elect, man. That's Isaiah 6 we read today.
Yeah.
The Lord put a spirit of deep sleep on them.
We read that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Scriptures, it was a curse.
Yeah.
It was a curse in the scriptures. It gonna be smited with blindness.
Yeah, madness. Yeah. That's why, bro. You know? So that's it. Yeah, we was bringing that out earlier today. Yeah.
The same thing.
Yeah, we was going into that too.
Go ahead, brother.
So 7 days were appointed, Leviticus 23. To these they added an 8th through a religious principle as preparatory to clear their houses of all leaven.
What?
All leaven.
So we did that. The Pesach was on the 1st. So Sunday, brothers was clean up their house. What was Sunday? No, I'm sorry.
No, we had Thursday.
Thursday. So Wednesday, brothers are going through there. I did it, already.
Yeah.
So that's how they used to do it when they had their tribes and they had their territory. That's how they started it, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, and to fix their minds before they entered on that religious duty.
Get your mind right. Certain people fast and you know what I'm saying? Solemn assembly, man. You know?
It says the name of this festival is derived from a word which signifies to pass over, because the destroying angel flew through the Egyptian houses and killed the firstborn. He passed over those of
the Israelites.
This is all observation of a man.
Yeah.
He's putting 2 and 2 together. Like, well, damn, all right, y'all keeping that, The Israelites kept that,
Yeah, that's why he said he was forced to believe there was Israelites.
Yeah, you got no choice.
Too many similarities, man. Like,
and he didn't write this shit last week, man.
Yeah.
40 years. Living amongst them.
40, but this was written like hundreds of years ago, man.
And the apostle said he might have been a Jake.
He said he might have been a Jake.
He probably had a Gadite woman,
Oh, we know he did.
Yeah, right, he did.
40 years was a Gadite. All that thickness walking by you every day. You got to touch something, brother. Come on. Hey, I had to do a 40-part series with this dude, man. What's going on? They ain't got no Gadite woman, bro. My woman, all these fine ass Jake's fan. Nah, man. Forgot about her ass.
Yeah, he was vibing out with him.
Yeah, okay. That's right.
It says the tops of whose doors were stained with the blood of the lamb, which they were ordered to kill. This solemnity was instituted with the strongest injunctions to let their children know the cause of that observance and to mark that night through all their generations.
Whoa.
So
That's
they can
Exodus
remember.
12th chapter.
Yeah, exactly. 12 chapters.
Hey, Elder. Hey, this the first edition online.
Yeah, this says $6,000, bro.
No, the PDF version.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit.
Off
Shit.
the archive.org. If you type in archive.org, you just type in the PDF online. Yeah, it's the actual pages from the 1775 edition right here. And you just flick through that jaw. Yeah, we're gonna rock out with this when I get home. But yeah, it's actually the first edition.
Because Esau switched shit out, man. Just like you got different editions of Bibles.
Yeah.
You got the EVS and NIV. He took out more and more things to deceive the people, man.
Yes, it says when you type in James Adair book online or the first edition, he's going to hit Project Muse, the history of the American Indians, and then from Johns Hopkins University, and you can go get it. You can go, and it says right here, download the PDF in the spring of 1775, and it goes first to that. Yeah.
Come on, so let's get back.
No excuse.
Information says this was it? 3 days before this sacred festival, they chose a lamb without spot or blemish and killed it on the evening of the 14th day of Abib, which was the first moon of the ecclesiastical and the 7th of the civil year. And they ate it with the bitter herbs without breaking any of the bones of it, thus prefiguring the death of Messiah. This was the reason that this was the chief of the days of the unleavened bread. It says, and they were strictly forbidden all manner of work on that day.
So that's why I tell Jake to call off work. This is a very powerful day for us, man. No words can't describe, man. You got a quick one, brother? Go ahead, brother.
It's Deuteronomy 16:1. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy power.
That was given to the nation of Israel. Go ahead, brother.
For in the month of Abib, the Lord thy power brought thee forth out of Egypt by night.
Right.
And if I can say too, it says, because it says without breaking of the bones of it, thus prefiguring the death of the Messiah, because Yahweh had came to this side of the world, man. You know, and that's why they were doing it, because they didn't break the Lord's bones either, man.
Yeah, it's
They were
crazy.
on the cross.
That's crazy because the tribes was already over here when that was even occurring.
Exactly.
When the Lord was over here, got put on the cross and everything. The tribes was already in the New World.
The Lord was the Lord was in the Middle East, and not the Middle East, in the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
He got put on the cross, and the tribes were already over here.
Yeah.
So when Yahweh came over here, he gave them all that revelation and all that stuff, man.
That's why they knew not to. That's why they did it in the. It says prefiguring the death of the Messiah.
Right.
Because pre is before, right?
Yeah.
It says, this was the reason that this was the chief of the days of unleavened bread. And they were strictly forbidden all manner of work on that day. Besides, no uncircumcised or unclean persons ate of the Pascal lamb.
That's the Hebrew word for Passover is Pascal. Pasak. Yeah.
It says, those of the people whom diseases or long journeys prevented from observing a Passover on that day were obliged to keep it in the next moon.
Certain brothers ain't make it, so the next moon, the next Sabbath, that's what it means. You got to keep the Passover in your house, man. Or you kept it that day, hey, good on you. That's a very, 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 very important day if you're being an Israelite, man. The next slide, please, is before I conclude this argument, that's the same argument. Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Check this out, brothers.
So it says, before I conclude this argument, I must here observe that when the Indians meet at night to gladden and unite their hearts before Yahweh, they sing Yahweh Shu, Yahweh Shu, Yohewa Shi, Yohewa Yashi, and Yohewa Shai Yahweh Shai.
You heard that?
Yep.
One more time, brother.
Which proves that the Lord came to this side of the world.
They had it, man.
They had his name and sent out his prophets.
Other sheep I have, though, now this fold.
Yeah, because it tells you in the earlier slide we were in that they had prophets out there, like Native American prophets out there, man. So it says, before I conclude this argument, I must here observe that when the Indians meet at night to gladden and unite their hearts before Yahweh, they sing. Should I read it verbatim like it says? Or?
Yeah,
okay. Yohei Washu.
What means what?
Yohei Washu.
That's Yahweh.
Right.
All right.
Yohei Washi, and Yohei Washai.
Yahweh Shai.
With much energy. You know, like sometimes we doing Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. That's they was doing it. It says the first word is nearly in Hebrew characters. The name of Joshua, which the Hebrew word Joshua is Yahweh.
That's a cut. Oscar Mayer.
It says the name of Joshua or Savior.
That's Yahweh Shai. Yeah, so for those of you unlearned imbeciles out there talking about the Native Americans, the tribe is not the tribe of Gad, you're unlearned, man. Y'all Bashim Yahweh Shai is not dealing with your monkey ass, man. That's right. You got a quick one, brother?
St. John 10 and St. John 10 and 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd.
Dealing with the Northern Kingdom.
Facts. That's Northern Kingdom, man. So we got the next argument. Go ahead.
Right. Argument number 9.
Overkill.
The Hebrew.
These are all things that he observed, man. I'm tripping off that.
He was in the mix.
You know
he was in the midst when they were doing this.
These are his
He had to be a
testimonies.
G, because the Edomite would have been turned off from that.
He
Like,
would have been around there.
yeah, I can't take 30 years, and he's doing this.
40
years. 40 years.
He's been doing this for 40 years. 40 years. I ain't even been alive 30. You know?
So it says, argument number 9. The Hebrews offered daily sacrifice, which the prophet Daniel calls to me.
Right, I got it right here.
Okay.
So this is Daniel's chapter 8. They're dealing with Antiochus and the Greek Empire, and they took away our daily sacrifice, okay? And it says, Daniel chapter 8, verse 13. Then I heard one of the saints speaking, another saint said unto another, that certain saint which spake, how long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of the desolation to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden down on the foot, which was like 2,300 days, which adds up to 10 years. Is dealing with Antiochus Epiphanes in the Greek Empire. All right. And it says, he said unto me, unto 2,300 years, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed, which adds up to like 10 years. All right. And it came to pass when even I, Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then I behold, there stood before me an appearance of a man, which is an angel. So during the time of the Greek Empire, they took away a daily sacrifice, which you can find in the precept of that is Deuteronomy chapter 29, verse 36. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering for atonement, and thou shalt cleanse the altar when thou hast made an atonement for it. Thou shalt anoint it to sanctify it. 7 days thou shalt make an atonement. Those are daily sacrifice. Every day we have to do that. The priest had to do that. So the priesthood was very important, man. That was a mediator between us and Yahweh back then. Okay. To 7 days thou shalt make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it. It shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy. Now this is that which thou shalt offer upon the altar: 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. So they're doing sacrifices every day, man. Right? The lamb The one lamb shall thou offer in the morning, and the other lamb shall thou offer at evening. And with the one lamb, a 10th deal of flour mingled with the forepart of an hin of beaten oil, and the forepart of a hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at evening, and thou shalt do it according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. So Yahweh loves smelling that lamb, man. Yeah. It goes on more, but I just want to get to the point. So that was the daily sacrifices we had to do with the priesthood for Yahweh back then, because he dealt with us directly. All right. So you had the tabernacle because we lived in the wilderness. Remember, I showed your brothers the picture on the Marco Polo, and you had all the tents around the tabernacle, which they kept the Ark of the Covenant. So Yahweh will come in the cloud, man, the spirit, boom, right there in the Ark of the Covenant, and the priests were going and whatever's going on and went from there. So we all saw that cloud, the chariot, the spirit came down. You understand what I'm saying? Some powerful stuff, man. And the priests had their tents around the tabernacle, and no Israelite, no other tribe could go there. If you go beyond their boundaries, the priests had the right to kill your ass. So that was a very serious ordeal for the tribe of Levi, the sons of Aaron, man. All right. Yeah, I think that's in the book of Numbers, I believe. Go ahead, brother.
Gun line, boss.
Huh?
That's the gun line, boss.
Yeah, right.
All right. So argument number 9, it says, the Hebrews offered daily sacrifice, which the prophet Daniel calls to me the daily. It was an offering of a lamb every morning and evening at the charges of the common treasury of the temple, and except the skin and entrails, it was burned to ashes.
I just read the scripture. Go ahead.
Upon which account they called it Ula Kalile, to ascend and consume. The Indians have a similar religious service. The Indian women always throw a small piece of the fattest of the meat into the fire when they are eating, and frequently before they begin to eat. Sometimes they view it with a pleasing attention and pretend to draw omens from it. They firmly believe such a method to be a great means of producing temporal good things and of averting those that are evil. And they are so far from making this fat offering through pride or hypocrisy, that they perform it when they think they are not seen by those of the contrary principles, who might ridicule them without teaching them better.
Right. So next argument, we're gonna stop at 9, man. I believe we made our point, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna stop at 9. We ain't gotta go no more in this book. We're gonna stop at 9 o'clock. I think that was the next argument you got. Yeah, like the Jews. Go ahead.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, yes, please.
The argument 12. Like the Jews, the greatest part of the southern Indian abstain from most things that are either in themselves or in the general apprehension of mankind loathsome or unclean. Where we find a deviation from that general rule among any of them, it is corruption, either owing to their intercourse with Europeans or having contracted an ill habit from necessity. They generally affix very vicious ideas to the eating of impure things, and all their prophets, priests, old warriors, and war chieftains, before they enter on their religious duties, and while they were engaged in them, observe the strictest abstinence in this point. Formerly, if any of them did eat in white people's houses, or even of what had been dressed there, they were sanctifying themselves. It was deemed a dangerous sin of pollution.
Don't eat from the heathens, man. All right, they don't keep our laws, man. You see. Go ahead.
And, that was said in Acts with Cornelius.
Right.
That it was against some along the lines against their customs to come into the house.
It is unlawful.
It is unlawful
keep
for
company
with a heathen.
And it's crazy because you know how the black women they get the weave, and this the weave is a slocky. The black women get the weave, and their weave is actually being sacrificed to a Indian god.
Oh wow!
And so when they
temples,
in the temple, so they think they sacrifice it to a god, and then there's some Indian dude around the corner picking their hair up, putting it on the line, sewing it up, selling to the black woman, and so that the heathen hair that they have on them is actually blessed by Satan. So them demons, demons on it. So they actually putting a part of the heathen on them, walking around with it on them.
Hell no! I seen a great documentary on that.
Yeah,
and you had a bunch of bald heathens.
And every year they shave it.
They shave it. They grow it and they shave it and they fucking do that little ritual over it and they give it to the people that's collecting it and all they do is selling it over to America.
Yeah, Chris Rock asked the little girl. He said, so is there a lot of Indian women here waiting to sell their hair? She was like, no, all their hair is being sacrificed. You know?
Yeah, it's a ritual. And they don't probably even know it's being sold here.
No, they don't. A lot of them don't. They really believe that it's a, like you said, they really believe it's a ritual. They really believe that they're doing it.
I seen that shit.
Yeah, they even sell the bad hair.
Yeah,
they call it the bad hair. They sell that for cheap.
The documentary was called, right?
It's called Good Hair. Good Hair.
Really bad hair.
Yeah.
I got that. No, I want to knock this off at 9. Go ahead. I got some. This right here goes into them not eating pork. That's what I want to get to. Close out. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna start here. It says they generally affix their vicious ideas to the eating of impure things.
No, he says the sin of pollution when some of them first corrupted their primitive virtue. When some, right there, right there. You stopped at sin of pollution right there.
Okay. It says when some of them first corrupted their primitive virtue by drinking of our spirituous liquors, the religious spectators called it aoka boom, bitter waters, alluding I conjecture to the bitter waters of jealousy that produce swelling and death to those who committed adultery but had no power over the innocent.
So remember the bitter waters they had to drink the water of jealousy.
Yes, and no.
Yeah,
it'll make their thighs right.
They made their thighs right out and their belly swell up.
Yeah.
All right. So next one is I asked the Archimagus. All right, go ahead.
It says I once asked the Archimagus to sit down and partake of my dinner, but he excused himself, saying he had in a few days some holy duty to perform, and that if he eat evil or accursed food, it would spoil him. Alluding to swine's flesh.
Alluding to what?
Swine's flesh.
Don't eat that pork, man. Go ahead. And that was one of the Levitical laws of the children of Israel, not to eat the swine's flesh. All right.
Though most of their virtue hath lately been corrupted in this particular, they still affix vicious and contemptible ideas to the eating of swine's flesh, insomuch that Shukapa, swine eater, is the most opprobrious epithet they can use to brand us with. So they was calling the white, so-called white man swine eaters. You know, it was like one of the worst offenses they can give the white man. You know? It says they commonly subjoin a kangapa, eater of dunghill falls. Both together signify filthy, helpless animals.
And that's what Esau was when he came to America. He was a filthy, helpless animal. Stunk. You could smell his ass from a distance. And he brought the incense to keep it cool. They didn't want to smell it. Taught him how to wash up. Taught him how to use proper agriculture in the land. And this is what he do. And what you expect, man? He's still a demon. He's still that unclean animal that you brought in. And it happened to Judah, and it happened to Gad, and it happened to every last one of our tribes that invited this demon into the fold.
Swine eater. Next one. Yeah, you close out on that.
All right. So it says the Indians, through a strong principle of religion, abstain in the strictest manner from eating the blood of any animal.
So those one of the Levitical laws as well.
Yeah, Esau put on that movie, The Revenant. You know, we always got to bring it out. Yeah, Jake eating, you know, raw.
Yeah, raw.
That's
meat.
not of us, man. You go to Genesis 25, you the one eating raw.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only time we deal with rawness is, you know.
It says, abstain in the strictest manner from eating the blood of any animal, as it contains the life. And that's what it says in Genesis 9.
Right.
It says, and the spirit of the beast, and was the very essence of the sacrifice that were to be offered up for sinners. And this was the Jewish opinion and law of sacrifice, Leviticus 17. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. For it is the blood which maketh an atonement for the soul. When the English traders have been making sausages mixed with hog's blood, I have observed the Indians to cast their eyes upon them with the horror of their reputed forefathers when they viewed the predicted abomination of desolation fulfilled by Antiochus in defiling the temple.
So they had that information. First Maccabees. So they bring it back onto us, brother. I mean, I got more information to bring out, but
it's a huge book.
It's a huge book. So, hey, so with that, brothers, we got a part 2 coming. The brother with Yawanathon, the brother here, Zebulite brother, you got some information and more information to share. And further prove that the Native Americans of the tribe of Gad and they are the Hebrew Israelites. So hope you brothers are edified and enlightened. I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom and Kwam Yashala, man. And Shalom to the elect. Right. It's Bakayar, right? For the elect. Bakayar. Ha Bakayar. Shalom, man. Shalom.